Are you, or is someone you know, the victim of coercive and controlling behaviour? Well, in this video, I'm going to help you understand exactly what that is, how to spot the signs, and how to get help. So, in 2012, the UK government added extra guidance to their domestic violence guidelines, and a couple of things were added in. One was to include honour violence and honour killings, for example, forced marriage of minors, female gender mutilation and things like that, although they do stress that that's not confined to one gender or one ethnic group. They also talked about something called coercive behaviour. Now, coercive behaviour, they say, is an act or a pattern of acts of assault, threats, humiliation, intimidation, or other kinds of abuse which are designed to cause harm to another person, to punish them or to frighten them. Okay, so that's coercive behaviour. Controlling behaviour is a pattern of acts designed to make a person feel subordinate or less than, and to make that person feel dependent on the other person by isolating them from support groups, so that might be friends or family, exploiting them to make money, or just exploiting them generally, depriving them of any means needed for independence or resistance or escape. So, they don't have to physically stop them, but it might be by withholding money from them, and just not giving them any choices in their lives. And this results in them having their everyday behaviour regulated by someone else. So, unfortunately and shockingly, I see a lot of this in my work with teenagers and young adults, and I'm always surprised that in this day and age where young people have more safety to be who they are than they ever have been, they can define themselves in any way they want, and they're free to explore, and there's lots of ways that they get support with that. It continues to shock me that young people, young girls in particular, are being controlled and being the victims of coercive behaviour. I hear about circulation of indecent images of girls, sharing negative stuff on social media, controlling access to friends and family, particularly friends, controlling how they dress, what they look like. And it shocks me that when I speak to girls, they don't seem to know that there's anything wrong with that. So that's why I want to put this video out, so that hopefully if you or someone you know is in any of these situations, you can show them this video, and hopefully they'll be able to understand and get help. I will be putting some websites in the comment section below for you to get help afterwards. So I'm going to talk through a quick case study. So Emily is going out with Carl. They've been together 3 weeks. Emily's best friend, Jazz, doesn't like Carl because she thinks he's a bit controlling and a bit of a pillock, to be honest. So she just doesn't like him. Emily says that the reason why he has a lot to say about what she does is because he loves her. She says that he wants her to be the best she can be because he knows that she can be. And in addition, he thinks that Jazz controls her. So Emily and Jazz have an argument and fall out, and they stop speaking to each other. 2 weeks later, Carl shares an indecent image of Emily on social media. So when she confronts him, she says, why have you sent that out? That was for you. It wasn't for the eyes of anybody else. And Carl says, well, I think you're beautiful. And I want all my friends to see how beautiful you are, and I want them to be jealous and know, how gorgeous you are. And by the way, don't ever question what I do. Okay? So by this point, Carl is telling Emily what to wear. She's not allowed to wear makeup unless she's with him. If she goes out without him to a family get-together, which she's rarely doing these days, and she certainly isn't going out with friends, but if she does go out without him, she has to send him pictures of what she's wearing so that he can approve, or sometimes he will choose out clothes for her to wear. People have started to notice that Emily's spending ever such a lot of time with Carl and not really with anyone else. You know, friends and family have started to notice that. Emily starts to tell herself that, you know, Carl treats her badly sometimes, but overall he really loves her. She's distanced herself from Jazz because they've fallen out. She's distanced herself from a lot of friends, and she hasn't really got anyone to talk to. So the only source of knowledge, support and help she's getting is from Carl. And of course Carl is making things out, you know, the way he wants them to be. She doesn't see anything wrong with Carl's behaviour. When asked about it, she says, but he doesn't hit me. He's not being cruel to me. You know, and so she thinks it's okay. Now, what I want to say is it absolutely is not okay. It really, really isn't okay. This is controlling behaviour and will quite possibly lead to coercive behaviour. And it is a form of domestic violence. The eyes of the law recognise it as that. It's a form of domestic violence. So, you know, bullies come in many, many forms. They're not always the big, angry, scary man that wants to, you know, shout at everybody. They can quite often be the, you know, slick, lovely teenage boyfriends that only has your interest at heart, you know, only wants the best for you. No, they're a bully. And it is coercive and controlling behaviour. So I want you to think really carefully about the case study that I've just talked you through. If you or anybody that you're worried about or that you care about is being made to feel uncomfortable, tell someone you trust, first of all, because you will be listened to, okay? If you don't feel there's anybody like that you can talk to, then check out some of the websites that I've put down below for help. You can get much more help and guidance from specialist websites. But please, please, come on girls and boys, you know, we live in an age where we can be anything we want to be, and no one should ever be able to tell us what's right and what's wrong. We should be able to make that choice for ourselves.